Hi, and welcome to Mommy Gio's Pearls. So today I'm diving straight into it, and I want to talk about practicing mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness is the art of being present in your decision making process, in your interactions, and even when you're just dealing with yourself. And this is important because it will help you to build the muscle of empathy. Empathy here is putting yourself in people's shoes and saying, how would I feel if I was spoken to in this way? How would I feel if I was reacted to in this way? What would I do, to improve the situation if I had been the one? And empathy is a very powerful tool in connecting to people and to yourself and those around you, and especially on this journey where you're discovering who you are. I thought this is a very good place to talk about it. And I'm just going to give you an incident that happened this morning. So I'm going through my phone book, see somebody that I hadn't chatted with in a while. Her name is Andrea W, and I had saved her as comrade because of the circumstances under which we met. We had met in the airport, and we had led the passengers there. We had spearheaded it in insisting on our rights. They were trying to be funny about our travel time. And so we'd saved her, we called her, said, how would we remember each other, comrade? So I just realized, we hadn't spoken in a while, so I reached out. And the response was, who is this? I said, okay, no problem. People lose their phones, it's been years, it's about 2 or 3 years now. And just quickly went in to say, this was where we met. And her next response to me was, other normal people would have said the circumstances under which we met. I wanted to say duh, but hello madam, I've just written that. And so I said, this one, as she has started off with a biting remark, let's establish some boundaries. So I said, but you, as you said, normal people now, so I'm not normal. So she said, it already looks it, and then I just said good, and she said goodbye, and then and I said, okay, I apologize, if you are having a bad day, because let's be honest, and this is where the empathy comes in. I'm thinking, what would make somebody behave like this on a Monday morning? Maybe her husband ran off with the house girl, maybe the child fell down the steps and broke the leg. Maybe her mother-in-law is, now sitting in her room talking to her husband, and she doesn't have access to him. It could be a whole myriad of issues that were disturbing her. And so, empathizing with her, I said, well, I could understand this, because I still don't understand why, you would be that rude and insultive, first thing on Monday morning. I just hope you have a good day and have some peace, And, but by that time, apparently, Madame had already blocked me, so it was probably worse. The situation she was facing was probably worse than I imagined. Now, notice it's just the issue of attributing, that and then moving on. Instead, because it would have quickly escalated into something on a Monday morning, and all because of what? All because I reached out to you to, to keep in touch. And so that's what I'm trying to build on today, that you're going to be faced with so many of this. In fact, as it is now, you're already faced with so many of this. And a lot of the times, our ego comes in, self-preservation comes in, and you want to snap back, get angry and all. While all these are valid, you also want to then be mindful about the amount of time that is going to be involved in trying to set this person who is clearly not mentally present straight. Or two, you just want to use the time to empathize, hopefully to soothe the person, and the person, you can move on, the person can move on without anybody insulting anyone, or you degenerating into a mad person too and insulting. And so if you practice it, you imagine practicing it daily, you just find yourself in far less conflicts, honestly, with people. Not that you're allowing them to get off with things, but the point here is the focus is you. You want to preserve your space. You want to preserve your mental health. You want to present the likeness you probably have in your spirit that day. And if you don't have a likeness in your spirit that day, you don't want to compound your issues by adding the point that somebody, doesn't know how to talk, or was in a bad place and didn't know how to express it, because really the conversation could have been better Hi, sorry, please, who is this? Oh, this is it, this is, oh, I really can't remember. Is there any other place we could have met? You see, that's how I would have expected it, but that's not what she did. So the onus was on me now. Was I going to fall into the gutter with her, or was I going to rise above it? In fact, instead of her, she was not even interested in beyond that. Instead, this is not a normal person. Let me just block the person. You see, maybe that was her mindfulness. My mindfulness was to make sure that it didn't degenerate into a quarrel. So the takeaway today is, as you are going through the day dealing with people, you have to be mindful of where you want to end up. Do you want to end up angry? Do you want to end up helping the person seeing a different perspective? Do you want to end up neutral? Do you want to end up happy? That's the mindfulness, so that you, as I said, are in far less conflict, have far less people to handle their wahala, but at least you'll be able to go home and deal with what needs to be dealt with, not just cluttering your plate. So I hope this has been helpful, and yeah, I'll be back with part 2. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and thank you very much, and bye from me.